excited for this. What's going on, everyone? This is Zach with StrictlyShisha, and the evolution of hookah bowls has come a long way, even from when I started to smoke hookah. I think this is partially due to Kaloud themselves and heat management devices like the Kaloud Lotus. The Lotus has become a staple in a lot of people's collections and accessories that everyone uses on a daily basis, including me. It's one of my favorite accessories and something I find myself using every single day. And bowl makers have seen this, and they started to become more innovative and find bowls that complement the Lotus perfectly. I know I don't know if anyone's ever noticed this, but have you seen any bowl that comes on the market these days? The first thing they tell you is if it fits with the Lotus or not. It's almost like a standard in the industry. So Kaloud actually came out last year with a Kaloud Samsaris. It was actually a very cool experience. I did that review in the Venetian when I was out at the Tobacco Expo in Vegas. So check out that review if you want to see what the original Kaloud Samsaris looked like in comparison to this new one today. And after that, Stone Hookah Bowls by Brandon George came out with the Stone Fit Bowl. And that definitely rocked the boat. A very cool product. The first bowl that was not made of silicone that fit with the Lotus very well. And now, a year later, Kaloud has come out with another bowl, a revamped version of the Samsaris, the Vitria. So let's talk about the design and what makes this bowl really unique. So the Kaloud Samsaris Vitria is basically a revamped version of the original Kaloud Samsaris that came out earlier last year. And Kaloud has seemed to address some of the concerns that people had with the original Samsaris in this new model. But what really sets it apart for me is its hybrid design. The integration of silicone and glass into one bowl. And as you can see, the glass is pretty much the heart of the bowl itself, and it has this silicone casing. Almost reminds me of an OtterBox for a phone. But not only does this keep the glass safe and protected throughout your use while you're packing it and putting it on your bowl, but it helps fit securely on the hookah itself. As you can see, the bottom part here is the part that actually extends onto your bowl port. It's different from the original Samsaris because it has this outer design. And this could just be aesthetics, but what I see is these pockets here allow for a little bit of manipulation in this bottom portion, so that if you are sticking it on a very large bore hookah, it will stretch out and fit very snugly. But I have actually had it fit very nicely on all my hookahs except my Regal, which has a very funky looking port. But on all your standard hookahs, your KMs, your Starbuzz, your Shikas, or whatever, this piece fits very securely without having to use a grommet, and that's very nice because I can never keep up with grommets. So using these silicone bowls is very advantageous for me because I can never find grommets and I'm tired of using paper towels. But I'll show you guys further the bowl. So it has these pockets and these cutouts here, which allow you to look at the glass and see the tobacco, and it looks beautiful. I mean, aesthetically, this looks a lot different from the original Samsaris. It's just a very beautiful statement piece. Let's talk about the integration of the glass and the silicone now. So as you can see, the silicone is malleable, and this is how you're going to actually fit the glass portion in here. I tend to leave the glass portion installed in the silicone unless I'm cleaning it. I don't like to play with it too much. Silicone is a material that gets worn out, gets stretched out. I just want to elongate the life of my bowl and eliminate any chances of it getting stretched out and unusable. I did baby my Samsaris when I was using it, never put too much heat, followed the directions, and my Samsaris is still in perfect condition. And that's what I hope to do with this bowl as well, just really take care of it so it lasts the test of time. But this is basically the bowl in smoking form. As you can see, it's very pretty. You can see right through that glass if you had a colored tobacco in there, especially like an alfalfa red would show really nicely through that. And you can see it's really nice and snug in here, it doesn't really move around. And it's almost like one flawless piece. It doesn't even feel like two separate pieces or a hybrid design. It just feels like one solid construction of a glass and silicone. Like the original Kaloud Samsaris, the Vitria also has this signature turbine groove or seashell-like groove in the bottom of the glass here. And supposedly this is supposed to do something with air manipulation, or I don't know how that actually works logically. But what I see it as, these pieces basically poke out into the tobacco and help evenly heat the tobacco throughout. And that has proven true. It does heat the tobacco very evenly and works very similar to how it did with the silicone design in the previous Samsaris. So obviously the whole point of the Samsaris Vitria and the original Samsaris was to fit your Kaloud Lotus heat management device perfectly. Fit like a glove. Have a whole bowl that was designed just to fit the Lotus. So let's talk about the actual fit of the Lotus in here, and has a lot of people actually worried about it. So when I first got my Vitria, I fought with it. Every single minute fought with this thing to get the Lotus to stay in here. Every time I'd shove it in, it would pop out on one side or pop out on the other side, and in the process I would be pushing the tobacco down. thus getting glycerin on the outside. And it was just a circular process. It would get glycerin, I'd have to wipe it. It was terrible to get the fit. So I actually spoke to the owner of Kaloud, and he gave me some advice that I want to pass on to you guys. When your Vitria is new, the design is to have this piece here and the fit of the Lotus as tight as possible. So even as time progresses and the silicone starts to, I guess, wear in a little bit, your Lotus will still fit perfectly in there, and you'll be able to turn it upside down and be very comfortable with the fit. So they created a very, very tight seal. So what he recommended that I do is hold the actual Vitria in the palm of your hand and work it. Just really work it. And this reminds me of if anyone plays squash and you have a squash ball, before you start playing, you gotta warm up the ball, okay? And this is something that I did when the first few times when I had trouble, and now it fits in there a lot easier than it did before. So don't expect to have to do this every time for the rest of your life. Just the first few times to get the silicone worked and a little broken in. So once you do that, it's nice and broken in the first few times, you simply, very easily, just take your Lotus, find the corners, and line them up, okay? Once you feel like it's snug in there, give it a little twist. What I like to do now is I hold the bottom portion here and kind of pull up just a little bit and put contact with the bottom of my thumbs and just kind of squeeze it together. Once it feels like it's in, it's pretty much in. This is, look, I'm shaking it. I mean, this is not coming out. And the fit that I recommend is just sitting it in that lip in that bowl. You want your air vents exposed and you don't want them covering or it won't work very well. And as you can see, mine is fitting in, no gimmicks, no glue, and it comes out very easily. Let's talk real quick about packing the Samsaris Vitria. The official statement by Kaloud is that you sprinkle the tobacco in to the top of the glass here and you will get very good results. I'm a little more generous when I pack modern tobaccos. Put a little bit more in there, get a little more contact with the Lotus because I like really large clouds and I don't mind a little bit warmer smoke personally. That's with modern tobacco. I have tested this with pretty much every tobacco on the market, and this thing actually performs very well with Tangiers. When I'm packing Tangiers, I literally just dense the crap out of it all the way to the top of the glass where Kaloud actually recommends keeping your tobacco at anyway, and this thing performs very well. But I'll show you guys kind of what I do with modern tobacco. Pretty much how I pack any sort of modern tobacco, Haze, Starbuzz, Alfaker, whatever, in the Vitria. And officially, I'm going to tell you, the owner of Kaloud says I overpack a little bit, but like I said, I'm pretty generous. The next thing you got to do, the biggest tip I can give you, wipe the edge where the Lotus actually fits. Make sure there is not a single drop of liquid, whether it be water or glycerin or tobacco or anything. This edge needs to be completely dry before you insert your Lotus. And this is a step you will have to do every single time. So, as I showed you earlier like 10 times, find the edge with your Lotus, and just kind of wiggle it in. As I showed you here, counter the actual bowl itself with the Lotus, and it should be nice and snug every single time. As you can see here, very simple, took me like 2 seconds. Put your coals on, insert this on top of your bowl port, and you are ready to fly. So now that you guys saw the design of this bowl, what makes it really special, how I pack it, and the unique features of this product, let's talk about how it actually performs. I'm smoking in a Regal Prince version 2, got a boho base on here. I am smoking obviously in the Vitria bowl. I'm smoking a little bit of Alchemist tobacco, Russian Mule, and I'm using 3 titanium flat coals. And as you saw in the video, it fit perfectly today. And I will admit, there was some trouble getting this to fit perfectly when I first got it. That silicone just needed a little love. And once I worked it out a little bit, now every time I fit it in there, it fits very well. So like I said in the video, be patient with it if you just got your Vitria and it's not fitting perfectly. Give it some time, really work with it. Definitely work the outside edge, and it should fit just like mine is today. And trust me, I was just as frustrated as some of you probably are because I was having trouble getting it to fit. But I can attest to you now, it does fit very well. And let's talk about how this thing actually performs. And the one main thing with this and why this bowl is set apart from any other bowl when you have it set on, let's say, a Goodfellow bowl or Harmony bowl, is the exact fitment with the Lotus. You get what, almost like an air seal. And you'll notice if your Vitria is not sitting with your Lotus perfectly, it will smoke just like almost any other bowl. But once it gets that snug fit, you'll feel the difference in the pull. It really feels like you're directly pulling from inside all the way throughout your bowl, and there's no air coming in from the sides. And that's the biggest selling point for me when using either the Samsaris or the Vitria, the airtight seal. Also, it helps keep in the heat. There's no heat that's actually able to escape. So in theory, you are able to use less coals. Practically speaking though, I don't use less coals with the Vitria than I do with the Goodfellow or the Harmony bowl. I still use 3 coals, whether that be 3 titanium flats that I'm using today, or I use 3 cubes with the lid off. As soon as those coals dwindle down a little bit, tap that 3rd coal in, put the lid on, and enjoy a longer duration that way. But like I said, I use this about the same amount of heat as I do with every other bowl. And that's okay though. I don't mind using the same amount of heat. As long as I'm not using 4 and 5 coals, to me, this product is efficiently using the heat that I'm putting on there. By the way, it's super cold in here, so I am shivering a little bit. But Kaloud advertises that with the Vitria bowl, you are getting really, really pure flavor from this, and this will definitely set you apart with the other bowls. But for me, I'd say that the really pure flavor is actually coming from the Lotus itself. And it's the same amount of purity that I'm getting from a lot of other bowls when I pair it with the Kaloud Lotus. But the actual Vitria itself does not hinder in any way. I am getting really nice, pure flavor from this. No silicone taste, no outside tarnishing, just the flavor that I pack. But the most important part for me is the cloud output. I'm a cloud chaser. I smoke because I love the clouds, but I like a nice balance of flavor from this. Let's take a few hits to show you guys. As you can see, really, really thick clouds, and this is about 25 minutes into the session. So the cloud output when I am using the Vitria in combination with the Lotus, I can honestly say it's no larger than when I use any other bowl, but it does work well. Using the Vitria does not hinder my cloud output in any way, and I'm able to put out the nice, robust clouds that I typically like with really pure flavor. So with this product, I can get a nice balance of flavor and smoke output. And aesthetics, it is aesthetically pleasing. It is such a beautiful piece. And the hybrid design between the silicone and the glass, you are getting benefits of that glass. The interior of the glass warms up really well, really evenly bakes that tobacco. Whether that turbine design or not helps at all, I notice that this tobacco is burned evenly. When I scrape all that tobacco out, pretty much every gram is pretty much burned on the 2nd round of coals. And I have heard people getting 4 and 5 rounds of coals with using the Vitria, which to me, I have not experienced that. With Tangiers, I did go 3 rounds, smoked very, very well. Typically with modern tobaccos like Alchemist today or Haze or any other brand that I do smoke, I do get 2 rounds out of this, and it efficiently uses all the tobacco in the bowl. So I do like the revamped version of the Kaloud Samsaris Vitria. I actually did not have the same concerns as a lot of people did with the original Samsaris. I think the biggest reason why they revamped this was more people wanted a more secure fit with the Lotus, so you could turn it upside down and it was something you didn't have to really worry about knocking off. I thought the Samsaris actually fit very well with the Lotus. I followed the directions, got really good results with 2 coals because they were actually worried about the silicone breaking down. But I thought with the 2 coals that I did use, it worked very, very well. So I didn't actually need for them to change up the design at all. But the biggest thing for me when using the Samsaris, and this is the reason why I had it put on a shelf for a long time, was the fact that it ghosted. If I smoked really strong flavors like pond flavors, or in my case, Starbucks Green Savior, it ghosted the crap out of my Samsaris, and it was a flavor that I could not get out. I thought the bowl performed well. I thought it fit really well with the Lotus. But the integration of that glass design on the interior, you would not have to worry about any sort of tarnishing of flavor or ghosting. I packed some crazy flavors in here. Washes out very easily, the separation. You can really get in the nooks and crannies of this bowl and get it cleaned out and not have to worry about ghosting. So for me, the biggest pro over this bowl, over the original Samsaris, is not having to worry about ghosting. And if you are someone who likes to really load on the heat, throw 4 coals in there for whatever reason, even though it's not necessary, you don't have to worry about it melting as much, especially with my testing. I mean, I have put in a lot of heat just to test it out, and I can't say if it will stand the test of time and the silicone won't break down like it did in the original Samsaris, but I can say the combination of the glass will help delay that period, and this seems to be like a bowl that will last the test of time. One more thing I do want to mention is that the glass piece in the interior of the Vitria is removable. And Kaloud actually recommends using this inside of a fruit bowl to help enhance your experience. I have not tested that out this far, and I will do a separate video of my experience of using the interior of the glass alone inside a fruit bowl. Logically, I don't know how that will work, and I don't know how that's going to add to your fruit bowl experience, but I will do a separate video of me testing that out and let you know if that's something that you guys should try and if it's a productive selling point of this product. So if you like the selling points of the Kaloud Samsaris Vitria, and you've taken note of some of the things that I've noticed during my testing of this, and that I think it's a very high quality and very useful product, definitely check out Kaloud's website. They are doing a pre-order right now, and they are doing something that's very cool. If you have an original Kaloud Samsaris, and you have all your paperwork and everything is aligned, they are doing a trade-in program. And I'll try and put the link of how to do that in the description below, but they will do an even trade for this product, and I have a friend who has done this, and they actually got it before I got mine to test out. But I did get mine from Alex at 5starhookah.com. He will carry this product, and I would definitely recommend buying it from him if you guys don't have one to trade in and you're looking to purchase one outright. Alex will take care of you, and he should have these by the end of the month, if not early next month. But yeah, that is my thoughts on this product. Like I said, it's very proud to do this review for you guys and let you guys know what I think about it. I know there are some talks on the forums, I know hookah enthusiasts, of people who are testing this out. A lot of people are really getting great results and great experiences using this bowl. So if you guys have one, definitely comment below what you thought of it so far. If you are having trouble with the fitment, and I do admit that was a problem, definitely comment below or email me at StrictlyShisha@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to lend you some advice and tell you how I've gotten mine to work very well. You guys have a wonderful night, and I'm trying not to freeze and enjoy the rest of my bowl. Bye guys, take care.